Alright, just wanted to make a quick video kind of talking about the pine forest and this field here at our farm. When I was a little kid, about 5 or 6, this whole field right here used to be just overgrown with bushes and shrubs and, sumac trees, and it wasn't even really a woods. It was just like wasted space. Well, my dad hired a guy that bulldozed it all down and cleared this whole field out, and there used to be a big mound right here where we used to burn stuff, and it's where all the trees and just the bulldozing left, and that sat there for like 30 years. And just recently my dad bulldozed all the dirt over there and kind of flattened it. But yeah, this field was just all grown up, and there was when they were bulldozing it, there was a silver maple that was probably about 3 inches big, and the guy said, man, there's a beautiful silver maple out here, we should maybe leave it. And then here it is, 35 years later, and look at that tree. It just turned into a beautiful tree. And yeah, let's walk back into the pine forest. And my dad and mom have slowly worked on this pine forest over the years, and it's really been cleaned up a lot. We still have kind of a brush pile or burn piles here, and we burn that off a couple times a year. And eventually we'll probably find a better place to burn stuff, but right now that works great. And yeah, just walking in the pine forest, we have a little trail here that goes back, a little 2-track. And then all of this is the edge of the pine forest, and probably about out to where that brush pile was all big trees and lots of brush, prickers, just you couldn't really even walk through it. But over the years, my mom and dad have cleared this out and left random trees, and now you can actually mow back here and walk through it. And we've got random, it's kind of like storage out here, so we got cinder blocks, and there's a other storage place back here I'll show you in a second. But yeah, they've just cleaned up all the branches and sticks, and it's middle of October now, so fall's hitting. A lot of the pine needles have fallen, and it's really nice out here. I mean, all the sticks are cleaned up. It's really peaceful. And then yeah, just keep walking down this 2-track. And eventually, we were just talking about, they want to put some benches out here, and maybe like a gazebo, or maybe even make some trails, and make it better. But right now it's kind of just like our overflow storage. And this is our hillbilly barn, quote unquote. We call it the hillbilly barn. And my dad made this thing, probably 30 years ago. He always brags about it. He made this thing for a couple $100. He got most of this stuff free. It's all like scrap and recycled stuff. But he made just a nice little shed. And there's nothing really out here of value. It's just kind of, overflow storage of random stuff. I think sometimes he puts his tractor out here and random stuff. And then we got random deck boards that we're trying to figure out what to do with. And here's the old trail that kind of goes down and curves around. But we don't really you can use it. It's just the other trail is a little better way to get in. But yeah, and then when we were little kids, we used to come out here and play, and we had forts. And right here there was like a camper built up, and me and Bob had built an underground fort here, where it was a pretty big underground fort with, couldn't even tell there was a fort there. It was literally underground. We had plywood and put dirt over it and everything. And the woodchucks kind of stole our idea, and we had the way to get into the fort was like to dig down, or you went through like the floor of this camper and went into this little secret room and had this awesome little fort in there. So that was a cool little memory of the little underground fort we had built right into the hillbilly barn. And our neighbors out here, the Pachets have always had livestock in this field, so it was cool just to walk back here and see. Right now they got sheep, but sometimes cows and sometimes pigs. And nice little way just to come back and see some cool things. And then when we were little, we always would come back here and play, you know, army, or we'd have gunfights and capture the flag, and come out here and throw Chinese stars and throw knives, and come out here with a hatchet and hack down a tree, or, you know, just do whatever little kids do. And we even some sledding, you know, this isn't a crazy hill, but it was big enough to have a quick little sledding run. And then you can see just every year my parents are constantly picking up all the fallen limbs, and we'll eventually burn this off, but we're a little nervous just because all the dry pine needles. Now we'll wait until it's raining or, you know, a good day to do it. And we would always build forts out here. There's another little remnant. Okay, yeah, here it is. There's a remnant of a little underground fort we had here. And you can see we had sandbags. I remember that right here there was sandbags, and there was a little, you know, cubby hole where you could get in there and shoot. You know, we'd play paintball back here and everything too when we got older. And you can see we had taken some of this, needs to be cleaned up, but this was, you know, the covering. It was probably a foot tall, and you could get in there and crouch down and shoot out there. And but we had little forts like that all over. Most of them have been cleaned up. It's really peaceful. But yeah, we were thinking about making like a trail, you know, maybe get some rocks and make like a defined trail that goes around with benches. And my dad's been talking about putting a pavilion or some type of gazebo out here. And yeah, it's over the years, it just little by little, constantly cleaning it out. Used to have a crazy poison ivy, and I'm really allergic to poison ivy. And I would get it a couple times a year. And my dad has really tried to get rid of it all, and for the most part he have. But you can see here, these are poison ivy vines that he's cut at the base, and they're pretty much dead. But I mean, almost every tree had poison ivy on it. Yeah, I mean, here's some more vines. It's in the fall, so all the poison ivy's dead. But even this summer there was some out here. And look at this one. This is just a huge poison ivy vine. And he cut that right there, you know. But look at that son of a gun. You know, going all the way up, almost like a anaconda choking the tree out. But yeah, you know, it was a lot of good memories out here. I just kind of wanted to document this because, I don't know, family history or just all the memories we had out here. And then here's a little remnant from the past. We had a climbing thing. My dad built this, I don't know, probably went, well, you see where that board is up there. It went, that's about 20 feet up, and we had different boards. They've all fallen since then and rotted out. But it was this like climbing jungle gym thing that would go all the way up, and that was pretty cool. So yeah, we'd have all our friends out here and just, you know, play war games and goof around. And it's a really cool pine forest, and it really has taken the shape over the years of just being overrun and you can't even really walk through it, to now it's really cleaned up and almost like a public park kind of thing. And he wants to just keep building on it, and I think we'll keep doing a little bit every year, and who knows, you know, it could turn into a park or a shooting range or a disc golf course or a paintball club. You never know. I mean, it's just a really nice place. And then yeah, this is where I was saying there was a big uneven mound out there, and they pushed it all this way, and this is kind of like our pile of dirt in case we need fill dirt or something. And the same thing, we got just random fill dirt here. And then that big old bunch of chain fence or barbed wire fence here, that's been here ever since I was a little kid. And I think it was just from this fence, geez, probably 100 years ago, they just ended up not using it, and this fence has probably sat there all bundled up for, you know, 100 years. And then I just want to walk down this way and talk a little bit more about these trees here. And my dad loves his tractor. He can come out here and, you know, he's got a brush hog, and he likes mowing this. And you know, we've made these hedgerows here we got going. So it's just a constant project and just something to do out on a, you know, farm, keep you busy. But this tree right here has since died. But it was huge, and it's an old maple tree, and we had a family friend who worked for the state park, and he said it was one of the bigger maples he'd ever seen. And it's since died, but we used to, you know, here's some remnants of when we were little. We had stairs going up, or a ladder going up, and there was a crotch of a tree right up there, and it branched off really big, and it finally just died or got hit by, I can't remember what happened with it, but it's really cool tree, and it's just, you know, this is what's left of it. But we used to play on this thing all the time, and it was really cool because, yeah, the crotch of the tree, kind of right up where it broke right there, it would branch out a couple different ways, and the crotch, I mean, was almost like a room or a floor that you could just hang out and party up there. So we would, you know, little kids climb up there, and all our G.I. Joes, and, you know, that was a sniper spot, and we just had all types of fun there. And yeah, my dad's just constantly, you know, trimming back trees, cutting down, even thinning out all this. This whole hedgerow used to be really thick, and over the years he just cut it back, cut it back, cut it back, and now it's, you know, it's really nice. And then my dad used to have an ultralight here, and so did our neighbor Andy. And this gate used to be open, or they would open it, and this field right here was actually a runway. And yeah, Andy had a couple ultralights, and my dad had an ultralight, so he would just pull his ultralight out of the barn, taxi it over here. The runway kind of started diagonal and went out that way, and they would fly right out of here. So it's a really great little hobby they had, and, you know, they could just do it right here without going to the airport. And then, yeah, look at this tree. I mean, I'm 42 years old, and this tree, I was thinking about it, is probably the same age as me. Because when I was 6 years old, it was, you know, it was a tree about, you know, this big. And then, you know, we cleared every other tree out, so this thing had a free reign to grow, just complete sunlight from all sides. And just look at this. I mean, that's like a 4 or 5 foot diameter tree, huge tree now. I mean, just beautiful tree, and the ground is kind of even propped up because the roots, geez, the roots must go, I don't even know, hundreds. I mean, that tree grows so fast to get that big. I mean, it just had free reign, and the roots just must go hundreds of feet. So it's a really healthy tree. And just kind of look, I mean, I don't know if you can see, it's, I mean, it's just really up above the ground about a foot or two. So yeah, really cool. Thanks for watching the video about our pine forest, and I just kind of wanted to document it, as we've had a lot of fun out here, and it's been a great memories out there. And it'll be here probably long after I'm gone, and I hope the people that get it have as much fun with it as we did. Okay, talk to you guys later.